Welcome back to newearth.land. That's the website. Do check it out if you want to learn more. But how can we achieve the vision that I've just outlined in the previous video, which was why we're doing what we're doing, which is ultimately, as I said, to alleviate poverty, which will ameliorate inequality and end a lot of this stress, right? All of this, we're just simply enslaved, right? It's very clear to anyone who's expanded their awareness, okay, raised consciousness. But how can we actually achieve this, right? At the moment, we're having to pay rent and bills, right? We're not choosing to do that. It's just the way it is, right? It's the default normalized state that we're in. You're born into a world where it costs this much to exist, but existence is free, isn't it? Like, we all know that to be true, right? We're spinning around on this microscopic little rock in space. All the other animals are free. So what we need to do is fulfill our immediate physiological needs through the design of autonomous co-housing projects that freely provide shelter, energy, food and water as basic human rights, okay? But how can we do that? We can only do that when we come together. When we come together and do what the government should have been doing all along, should be doing right now and should be doing in the future, but never will. Once we come together and do what they should be doing, we can liberate ourselves. We have to do it together, right? No individual can do this. We've been pitched off against one another in this divide and rule state of consciousness. And unfortunately, that's very much, again, to our own detriment. We need to come together and be service to other oriented. Then we can see the abundance coming back to us, right? It's going to be absolutely incredible once we begin to realize that we are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the ones who can change society. Of course, we are the 99%, right? Who else is going to do it? Clearly, how many elections are going to go by before people realize that the governments aren't going to do that? That's not what they're here for. They're here for governmente, which is to govern or control the mind. That's how it operates. That's really what's happening. It's this psychological 21st century slavery that we're dealing with. So once we've come together, we can now crowdsource and democratize the whole process of construction, in particular, the construction of our homes. And we can liberate ourselves in this way. And so to begin with, once we've crowdfunded some land, we can then crowdfund the construction of these co-housing units. And then we can start to operate them at first like hotels. So you do it by way of subscription. So once you're connected and you've subscribed, you are now in the lotto, so to speak, right? You now have the possibility to actually come along to one of these spaces and see for yourself, like from the employed to the misemployed to the unemployed. People from all walks of life will come together to experience 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, depending on your condition, depending on your situation, respite from rent and bills, okay? Then you get more time to work on the things that you feel passionately about. You get more time, freedom, more money to spend it more wisely, more sanity for people. It's simply like, it's so clear that this is the solution to everything. Freedom is a foundation of every problem in the world. Once we can get our own headspace back, now we can start to work in a coordinated manner. Who is it that said? Martin Luther King said, "Those who love peace must learn to organise themselves as effectively as those who love war." But we can only do that when we're free, because otherwise we're having to run around in the rat race, working for people who are millionaires, trillionaires, right? People who have got much more wealth than us. That's why they can afford to recruit us to pay. But what's their intention? It's never really anything seemingly progressive. So we need to come together to immunise ourselves against this trait. It's not human nature, but it's a trait that can be, unfortunately, pulled on like a string of greed, right? And that's really what capitalism does. So we need to balance that out with some socialist principles so that we have a foundation of freedom on this planet. Shelter, energy, food and water, okay? This is loosely how we do it. I can't go into much detail here on these brief videos, but if you do check out newearth.land, you'll see it in greater detail and videos and walkthroughs and a virtual tour there as well. So I'll see you over on the website. Do connect there and I will speak to you very soon. Thanks very much for watching.